Let me tell you why the attendance lady is my biggest op. I didn't want to go to Spanish today like everybody else who actually likes Spanish. I love the teacher, but I just wasn't feeling it, okay? Wasn't feeling Spanish. In first period, I write myself up a little note. Fake little note saying that I have a doctor's appointment and I need to leave at 1:30. Write it in my dad's handwriting and I do his signature. This worked with a chill teacher. My Spanish teacher, she likes to follow the rules, and that's great. That's great for her, not great for me. At the beginning of lunch, I go into my Spanish teacher's class and I'm like, hey, I have a note saying I have a doctor's appointment and I need to go home at such and such. Do I just give it to you or do I just give it to the office? She's like, you need to take it to the office and you need to turn it into them and you need to show me the slip that they gave you saying that you signed out. Great, no, that's fine. I'll just give them the note. Like, I have full confidence in my note. I walk up to the attendance office and our attendance lady, she's a bitch. So I walk up to the attendance office with full confidence in my note. I walk in there and there's a girl in front of me and she has a note as well. And the attendance lady looks like she's on one today. And she's doing extra to check that this note is authentic for the girl in front of me. So I start panicking a little. I'm like, oh no, I don't really want her to inspect this, and maybe she calls my dad to check it while I'm standing there. So then I get caught face to face. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna call the attendance office and pretend to be my mom. I star 67 the attendance office and I call them and they don't answer. So I'm like, great, I'm gonna leave a message and they're gonna sign me out. They're gonna believe this. I'm signing out so-and-so at 1:30 for a medical appointment, yada, yada, yada. I thought I did great. I put my best mom voice on. I'm like, this is so believable. This is gonna work. Didn't work. In my car, eating my lunch, waiting to go to Spanish for the first like 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna leave with my little note. I get a call. From who? My dad. I'm like, shit, what is this about? I answer the phone. He says, where are you? I go, I'm in school. He goes, did you try to call yourself out of the attendance office? I'm like, no. He says, well, they called me and they said somebody called and they didn't believe it, so they called me to verify. And then I tell him this bullshit story. I'm like, no, I was telling my friend, like, da-da-da. She was like, oh, I can sign you out, but I didn't think she would actually do it. And I said, no, it's okay because I have to go, yada, yada. My dad believed me. Thank God I'm not in trouble. But he was like, you better stay at school all day today. I'm like, don't worry, like, yeah, I am. That office lady is my op. Why would you call my dad? Why would you call my dad? Why would you need to go verify? Like, who does that? Who actually does that? I called. I said, I'm signing my daughter out. Sign me out. The fuck? It's just not that serious. I didn't get in trouble, so I guess it's like fine, but that attendance lady is forever my op.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the story of how I dumped my ex 10 minutes before asking him to prom. If you know me or him, no you don't. I'm getting a little bit out of my comfort zone for this video, but it's a good story, so it's worth the listen. Okay, so 2 years ago, I dated a guy that was younger than me, and there had been a lot of problems in our relationship, and it was honestly more complicated than it wasn't, and so there was just like a lot of like red flags. But I kind of need to start from the beginning because you guys are not going to understand the context unless you get the full story, but I'm going to try to explain it as fast as I can and with not as much detail because you guys don't care about the little details. But anyways, I started dating a guy and he was younger than me, and it was a pretty good like relationship at first until one day I posted a photo of us on my story, like low-key hard launch, and the girl screenshotted it and I was like, okay, like whatever. And so it got me thinking, and so I just like texted her because I was like, why did you screenshot my story? Because it was like someone that I like wasn't really friends with, and it was like my extra large like story on Snapchat. So I was like, why did you screenshot that? Like, I was kind of concerned, but I was like, there's no way she like purposely did that. It was definitely like by mistake and she didn't mean to. But yeah, so I texted her and she ends up calling me. Ready for that hey girly text over here. But it was a call, and she was like, yeah, so like I'm dating him right now. And I was like, whoa, what? And so she goes on to tell me this like whole story that's like completely true about how they had been like going out for the past like month or so. I don't really remember, this was 2 years ago. And so I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I call him and I confront him about it, and he says that they have called everything off and like he stopped talking to her to talk to me. And like we weren't together fully at this point. We were just talking. So I was like, okay, whatever, like we weren't exclusive, but like still it was like kind of weird. And like she showed me receipts that made me like really skeptical. I just decided to believe him because I mean that was like the easy thing to do. I was obviously like in a new relationship and this is what always happens. But anyways, the story came out as true. I'm pretty sure he stopped talking to her, but she was still number one on his best friends list for a really long time. And so I was just very like, oh, okay. And I like never even looked at his phone either. So I just never knew what was going on in his life. I need to make sure this makeup sticks. But anyways, so one day I'm at my place of work and we had been going out for like a few weeks now. And I was talking to my friend about him, and some girl at the table next to me goes, "Are you talking about this person?" And I was like, "What? Yeah." And she was kind of just like, "I'm so sorry for butting in, but like I happened to overhear you were talking about him. He's cheated on every single girl he's dated before you." And so obviously that's like a red flag and I should have ended it there. But I was like, "Oh, what?" And so I got like all the tea from her, but still I was a teenager, I was in love, and I decided to believe him over her after confronting him. So I didn't have his location or anything, so every time he would go out with his friends, I would just assume that he was cheating on me. And like I was at home most of our relationship like crying because he like wasn't answering, and I just was like assuming he was cheating on me. I mean, you can only assume the worst, you know? And like maybe he wasn't, maybe he was, but like I tend to self-sabotage a lot, and so, you know. Another really big issue was that I stalked his Snap score because I was just like, once again, like I was self-sabotaging, trying to like find things that were like going wrong with him, and I happened just to like stalk his Snap score. And I don't stalk people's Snap score, I was just really paranoid this whole relationship. And so I was stalking it and it was just going up by so many numbers, and I had conversations with him about it, and he's like, okay, like I'll stop texting my girls, or I'll stop texting like all the people I'm talking to. I'm like, okay, good, like this is good. So there were multiple times where I thought about breaking up with him, but you know, he always said the right thing, and so I was always just like, okay, like that's fine, like we'll figure it out. But this is where the prom part comes in, and I'm gonna make a second part because this is just the backstory, but I'm gonna make the actual story in the next part, so go watch that. This is part 2 on how I broke up with my ex 10 minutes before asking him to prom. Okay, so if you haven't watched part 1, I'm giving like a full backstory of our relationship, and then this is the part where I actually break up with him. So anyways, he was kind of a snap hoe, and he ended up stop snapping all of his like girlfriends or whatever they were to make me happy. And so we were pretty happy for like 2 weeks, and I still had like thoughts of him cheating on me, but at least I knew that he wasn't snapping like 400 plus people. So this is where I actually get into the prom part. Since I was older than him, I had to ask him to my prom, and I thought about multiple times like not taking him because he was younger and I wouldn't have like a group to go with. But in the end, I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask him because like why not? And like our relationship had been really rocky, so I just didn't know if I wanted to or not. So I make an entire plan. I spent like 2 hours on a prom poster for him, and I went to our local pizza shop and I had them like put prom on the pizza with like a question mark or whatever. And so like I was stalking his Snap score. I checked his Snap score before I went into the pizza shop. And yeah, guys, I'm crazy, I know. But when you have allegations like this, like, you know. But I checked it before I went in, and it didn't go up by like any. I go in, I pick up the pizza, and I sit back in my car, put the pizza on my front seat, and I go to check it again because I was just like, why not? It went up 300. 300. And I was like, whoa. And it was like literally out of nowhere. Like he had stopped snapping all these people, and then all of a sudden, just like right before we're about to hang out, he just snaps a bunch of people. And he does not know this story because you'll find out in the next part. So if he's seeing this, then I guess you know why I dumped you. And we'd also just became like official. Like, he had just asked me to be his girlfriend, like, a few days before that. So I'm obviously, like, really upset because I'm like, what the heck? Like, we literally had a conversation about this. And I'm not even kidding. I was driving to his house to pick him up with this pizza. This man did not have his license. Like, I was a senior and he did not have his license. And I literally texted him, we're done. And that was it. I said, we're done. Because I'm honestly like, you are so immature. You don't even deserve to be broken up with in person. And I was like, we're done. And I called my friend and I drove to her house and we ate that pizza, got cute, and went to the bars. Because, like, I don't deserve that. And he texted me all night saying, what, why? And I don't know if he called me or not. Like, I don't really remember. But, like, obviously he didn't really care. Like, if he was that concerned, he would have done something more than just text me why. So I think I ended up blocking him because I just didn't really want to, like, hear about it. And he was just super immature. But yeah, this story didn't have, like, too crazy of an ending. But it's, like, the fact that I literally dumped him when I had all the prom supplies. Like, it took me, like, hours to make that poster. And, like, I spent money on that pizza. And so it wasn't just, like, some, like, willy-nilly, like, thing. And I think he knew I was asking him to prom, too. Because I was like, oh, like, hypothetically, like, would you go to prom with me if I asked you, like, a few days before that? Who knows? And it was literally, like, 3 days before prom. And I was like, could you get a suit, you know? But I'm so glad I dumped him because he is so toxic and, you know what, don't need that in my life. But yeah, long story short, if a man has allegations and you are self-sabotaging the entire relationship and just never feel, like, happy in it, you feel sad more times than you feel happy, cut it off. And, like, I'm so glad I did date him because it was the best learning experience I could have ever, like, had in my entire life. So, no to cheaters. Also never figured out if he actually cheated on me or not. I think he did, but who knows? I had some people tell me he did, but I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, long story short, if you ever feel like it's wrong, or if you don't feel like you should be in something, run for the hills.
This is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but honestly, just because you're over the age of 18 doesn't mean you can do whatever you want in your home. The other day, I posted a story time about things that I can't really tell my parents, even as a 23-year-old, and I received a lot of hate because I am over the age of 18. For my household, it doesn't really matter that I'm over the age of 18 because I'm still living under my parents' roof. I'm really fortunate because I don't have to pay for rent because I live in my mom's house, and I don't have to pay for Wi-Fi or even electricity. So for me, rules still apply, like, even up to the time that I get home. The chores I do and everything else still matters in my household because I still live with my mom and I still have to be responsible living here. I cannot come home whenever I want and I can't invite friends to my house. There are certain rules for my house that are a lot different more than anybody else's. But this is just really hard to explain to people because honestly, a lot of friends of mine don't have these rules when it comes to their household. I kind of believe that it is so reasonable that even though I'm over 18, I still have rules to follow because I am still under my mom's roof. It really is a difficult topic to talk about because a lot of people don't understand that. Every house is different and honestly, it really just depends on where you live and where you're from. My mom is from Costa Rica, so honestly, a lot of rules that she has came from her own home from another country that not a lot of people do here. Wish I had more liberty like my other friends, but sometimes you just gotta, like, you know, deal with it. This is my outfit for tonight. I'm gonna go finish getting ready, but I love you guys so much and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you a story about my family and I getting followed by a registered sex offender in Hawaii on vacation. Sometimes I forget this, like, literally happened. It was insane. We're going back to 2021 when my family and I decided to go on a vacation to Oahu, Hawaii. The first day we're there, it's great. We love it. It's beautiful there. Then the second day, we came across a little incident. So at the resort we're staying at, it had like a little not private, well, it was connected to the resort. It was like a lagoon beach area type thing. So say like the resort's here, the pool's here, and then the lagoon beach area is here, and then there's like a gate where you walk out onto the public beach. So technically, if someone walks in front of you, they'll just open the gate for you, and anyone from the public beach can get to your resort with no pass, card, nothing. You can just walk on. So we're all sitting on the beach, well, the little private lagoon thing, and all of a sudden this guy comes up and sits next to us, and mind you, it's like kind of during COVID. It's a little after, so like you could travel, but no one's really like getting close to you. Like, everyone's kind of like minding their own business. This guy's all alone. He looks like he's like probably in his 30s or 40s, and he comes and sits right next to us. Everyone's like spaced out. Like, we're sitting here, he's sitting right here next to my dad. Like, my dad talks to anyone. He can talk to literally a wall. He's talking to my dad, he's talking his ear off, ask us where we're from, just like the normal combo. But then he just like would not leave us alone. You kind of had to get the hint. Like, it looked like we were done with the conversation, but he just kept going and going and going. And he started talking to my mom, and we were like, okay, what is going on? So we move our stuff to the other side of the lagoon. He follows us. So now me and my mom decide to go in the water, and he follows us out in the water. We're swimming in the water, and he's swimming right behind us the whole time, would not leave us alone. And we kind of noticed that it was like towards my mom. He was purposely following my mom or me. We couldn't figure it out. So then me and my mom get out of the water, and we're like, okay, what is happening? So we're like, let's go paddleboard. So the paddleboards were on the other side again. So we got out and walked around to the other side to get the paddleboards. He then follows us right behind us, walking to the other side to get the paddleboards, just for no reason. Like, the conversation ended 30 minutes ago, and he's following us around. So at this point, it's getting really, really weird. So we were buying paddleboards, and he just stood there as we're getting the paddleboards looking at us. Like, so now we're all getting a little nervous. I have a little brother. He was like 9 at the time, I think, and he like started crying. Like, everyone around us could see it too. Families around us were like, do you guys know him? Like, why is he following you? Then we all moved to the hotel pool. Now, here's where the crazy part happens, because we're sitting at the pool. First time we moved, we were like, okay, like, he didn't follow us. Like, we couldn't find him. We were like, okay, I think we're good. We're talking, and my sister is like, oh, I have to go grab something from our room. Like, what's the room number again? And my mom said it out loud. She says the room number, and we turn around, and he's right there listening to our conversation. We didn't know he was next to us again. So we're like, so he's gonna come kill us when we go to bed tonight. We walk over to the security people like working at the hotel. So many police came over and were like, we're so sorry this is happening to you. Like, Hawaii's like a very safe place. We called the guy over, I'm not gonna say his name, come over, and we're like, buddy, you gotta leave him alone. We literally escorted him out. Like, they took both of his arms and walked out with him, like took him back on the public beach. Then we talked to the hotel people, and we're like, can we switch our room? And this is like literally only the second day we're there, and they were like, why are you switching your room? We were like, we think someone heard our room number. That was a little creepy. We go switch our room. We already unpacked everything. Like, we had to take everything, move it all to the other room. Like, I think we were on like a whole different floor. Like, we were like, better be safe than sorry. Then, after we got our room switched, we were like, let's look up this guy just to see. Like, we were all kind of curious if he had like any previous arrest records. So we look him up, a million articles come up. Basically, he's been arrested for 20 years. So many mugshots of him, and sex offending a 12-year-old when he was 30. Don't mind the music. I think people are throwing a party right now outside my college house because it's like 70 degrees. After that, we never saw him again for the rest of the vacation, and it was a great vacation. We made the most out of it. It was just a very, very scary situation. And like, obviously, we were never rude to him in the beginning. Like, super, super nice to him. Hope you guys enjoyed this story. It was definitely a little crazy, but it was a great vacation overall. I love Hawaii. It was a beautiful, beautiful island. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story.
Story time about how this guy started spying on me, and then this girl spread a rumor about me that my mom died. Or that I lied about my mom dying. Okay, so basically I was at their house, and I didn't want to stay there the night, so I had my friend pick me up. Something happened with the car, so I called them out there for help. They completely ignored me. They did not give a fuck. They were like, that's weird. Are you sure? Like, you're acting suspicious. Like, bitch, I just need help. The fuck you mean? That part low-key pissed me off, because be so fucking for real. How am I suspicious? Like, the whole seatbelt was stuck in the door. Like, Sorry, this girl actually makes me very mad, because she spread crazy rumors about me. Anyways. And so after that night, all the people that were there, it was like 5 people. They thought I was suspicious, so they were like trying to do a thing to like spy on me. And at work, I would see people peeking around the corner, and I didn't think any of it. Can I talk? I didn't think anything of it, because I was like, oh wait, they're like my friends. Like, they're probably just like checking on me, messing with me, whatever. Nope, they just thought I was suspicious and weird, and I needed to be spied on to see like who the real me was or something like that. Guys, I'm like These rumors are so crazy. Hello. This girl then proceeds to tell me that they've been going around telling people that I lied about my mom dying, which I would never lie about. And I also find it funny because every time we had a sleepover or anything, I was like, oh yeah, I have to ask my mom. Or like anytime we wanted to hang out, I was like, oh yeah, just let me ask my mom real quick. It was literally for everything, so I don't know how I could have lied about my mom dying. But that was something going on in the group. Keep in mind, this all happened when I was a freshman and these people were juniors. Watch my dog when I blend it. Oh, she's so cute. These people, like, also live, like, pretty far from me. So, like, I don't even know how I met them. How did I meet them? Oh, yeah, she posted, like, open house party, blah, 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 whatever. And we've had beef with this girl in the past, but, like, me and my friends still went anyways. Exactly why I didn't tell them anything in the first place, because I knew they were all the kind of people to switch up in a second and, like, tell everyone your business. And that's the thing, is they didn't know anything about me, so then they had to make up stuff to be able to tell other people. So that is your sign to not trust anyone and be careful meeting new people.
Hey guys, get ready with me to go get coffee. I actually woke up so late today since it's the first day of term. Literally, I woke up at 1:30 today, and that's just not very productive for me because I literally told myself I was gonna keep my sleep schedule perfect. I don't know if you guys saw this on your For You page or not, but literally, since it was the last day of term, everything was packed to the brim, right? And because of that, people were trampling on me to get on the bus. Like, tell me why I nearly fell over because people are pushing me to get on that bus to the shopping centre. Like, be so for real right now. Come on now. Anyways, after literally sweating to death on that bus, we get there and literally the entirety of the shopping centre is running through Lakeside, like everyone. And we're like, what's going on? And someone screams fight and everyone is running. So obviously I'm running as well. But as soon as, the feds literally showed up and no one was allowed into the shopping centre. So we spent nearly an hour trying to find a way in because they wasn't letting anyone in. That's how bad it became. So it's crazy over here. I just feel like as soon as the entire of the UK hears the word fight, they will do anything to see or record that fight, including me. I generally need to restock on products because this one is quite literally dying. Anyways guys, thanks for watching and let me go get that coffee.